What is up? SB Philosopher here, and welcome back to the RePHIL studio. This serves as a special episode to commemorate the conclusion of season 1 of the podcast. So, this project has been pretty amazing, honestly. We had 10 full episodes plus an episode 0, and also even a live recording of an episode. So it was honestly quite amazing, and it was about 3.5 months of work. And honestly, when I opened up the studio and this podcast series, it was really because I wanted to get a sense of enjoyment and really get to learn other people's experiences in the Bang Dream community, and that was one of the main goals I did. And I was able to get a lot of very unique experiences from a variety of special guests, and be able to welcome them on and have them share their experiences was it was quite interesting to hear, and quite remarkable to hear much of the different perspectives out there in the community. So again, a lot of this project was really fueled by the fact that it was something that I wanted to enjoy doing, and I hope it's something that our viewers were able to enjoy as well. So that will, the studio itself and the podcast, it's a lot of it is really run and really supported by those who are in the Filler Nation. So again, the Filler Nation and those who are supporting me either through joining the YouTube membership, as you could see in this episode below, as well as those who are subbed to me on Twitch. So your names will be on this episode. You'll get to see your names there if you're part of the Filler Nation. But again, a big thank you to all those who support the content that I've been doing, and it's something that I really appreciate, and I'm very grateful for the support in this project. So, as I mentioned, season 1 is done, and season 2 is actually going to be starting very shortly. It's going to be starting in about a week from now. So, season 2 is going to have a few changes and such on how this podcast is going to work. So, I'll talk about some of the changes that we'll see in a bit. But before that, I do want to share that there is a feedback form, and it's sort of like not really like a formal website, but just kind of like a nice web page for people to learn more about the RePHIL studio, the podcast, and learn more about what they could do to support the project. So again, all those links are in the description, and the main thing that we want to share is that your feedback is very important for the podcast. I've been doing quite a lot in terms of trying to do what I can to add some new things and make it more interesting for our viewers. So for those who are avid listeners to the podcast, I do appreciate your feedback, and the feedback form can be found in the description of the video, as well if you're in the Discord server, it's under the Filler Nation channel. So any feedback that you have on the podcast, whether or not it is positive, whether or not it is constructive, anything that will be able to help improve the podcast is greatly appreciated. And also, it gives you an opportunity to request for any special guests. If you want to see a particular person on the studio, I'd be very happy to look into it and be able to consider some additional special guests that maybe I haven't thought about before. So again, feedback is very important, and I really appreciate that. But this episode is also going to talk a little bit more about what I do plan on doing in terms of changes for season 2. So first of all, I'm actually going to do it's going to be split into a few things. First of all, I'm going to have a slightly different upload schedule. So instead of uploading every Sunday afternoon in my time, I'm going to be uploading it on Mondays now. So this will give me a little bit of extra time to slot in a special guest of honor and get an availability for them, as well as gives me an extra bit of time to edit as well. So the RePHIL Studio podcast, are going to be uploaded every Monday on the YouTube channel moving forward. That does mean I'm going to be doing a recording for Filler Nation members. So again, if you are part of the Filler Nation, you will get exclusive access to live recordings of this podcast before it's released on YouTube on Monday. And those recordings will be done either on Thursday or Friday or even just sometime during the weekend. And these will be more on time. So some of the podcasts I done like well in advance, which adds a little bit of an interesting layer of time delay. So I do want to make it a little bit more on time and more closer to when the podcast is actually going to be uploaded. So basically, there's going to be a recording every week. There's going to be a recording of the podcast every either Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, depending on the availability of the special guest I have in mind. And the podcast will be uploaded on Monday. So again, that will be a slight change in the upload schedule. And I hope that, a podcast being uploaded with in relative close to the actual timing of what's going on in actual events, that people will be a bit more engaged and more have a bit more context to what's going on. So that's a new upload schedule. Another thing I do want to do is actually add a new format in the podcast entirely, which is a news section. So I had this idea in mind for quite some time where I wanted to share some news about what's coming up, like let's say upcoming events in the JP server or upcoming events in the EN server. Perhaps there's some new features that are going to be added to the game, or perhaps new things that as a whole, as a franchise, like for instance, upcoming albums to be uploaded or concerts. I want to be that person to give that weekly sort of update news for the franchise of the series in this podcast. So there's going to be a news section that will get sort of implemented into the podcast. So you might see podcasts be maybe a little bit longer than the previous episodes, and I'm going to try and fit quite a few things in one podcast. So a little bit of a news section, and that will sort of introduce each episode of the podcast. So that's something that definitely look forward to. I'm pretty excited to do this, to be able to share some new news with everyone. And actually, a little bit in this episode, after I talk about the updates, I'm going to share some news as well about the game to everyone. So this will be sort of like a test run to see how things go. The special guest, as I mentioned earlier, is not going away. That feature, I think, is something I have to have. Having a special guest come in and share their experiences. I think because of the fact that there's going to be a new section and there's also going to be one more section after, the special guest section part is going to be a little bit shorter. Maybe I won't necessarily go ask as many questions, but try and let them share their experiences and be able to really pinpoint into some really important stories and experiences that I want to share, and important questions that I want them to answer. So the special guest is still going to be there. Now, this is something I haven't done before, but I definitely plan on doing, and I've done this in the live recording of the RePHIL studio after the top 10 of the Melody of the Dignified Wind, where I brought multiple guests together in the same podcast. I thought that was really fun, and I do want to have this happen more often. Perhaps it will always be more than one guest on the studio every time, but we'll see. Again, there's a good chance that every episode there'll be a special guest. There will be a special guest, but there might be more than one special guest. So that's going to be really exciting stuff with the special guests. I also want to spend a bit of time, or sort of save a bit of time for the individuals, for the special guests to answer some questions from the community. So again, if you are in the Discord server, so links again in the description. If you are in the Discord server, there's going to be a section where once I reveal a special guest, I will ask some questions, or give the community a chance to ask some questions to the special guest, and I'll be able to ask them to the guest, and they'll be able to answer, and it'll be very exciting and engaging there too. So the special guest feature is definitely going to be shrunk down by quite a bit, because not only I'm shrinking it down in general, but also there'll be some opportunities for the community to ask some questions as well. So that's going to be really exciting. That's the part that I'm going to I look forward to adding and implementing into the podcast. So again, if you are looking forward to seeing some special guests and you want to be able to ask some questions to them, again, join the Discord. There's going to be opportunities for you to do so. So that's basically how this the podcast is going to be formatted now moving forward. There's going to be like a news section to talk about upcoming events, upcoming game updates and franchise updates and such. We're still going to have the special guest feature, but there might be more than one special guest moving forward. And there's going to be a Q&A section for either the special guest or perhaps there'll be like a community question that community members will come in and answer. So I'm really looking forward to this new updates and how things are going to go in the RePHIL studio and how this new format's going to work. So again, the newest episode for season 2 is going to start in October. So definitely look forward to that, and I do hope that I'll see how the workload goes and see if this is something that makes the podcast even more exciting to listen to. The RePHIL Studio is brought to you by the Unga Discord server. Feel free to join us. Links are in the description below, and you'll be able to join our community who's passionate about Bang Dream and tiering in the game, and you'll also get the chance to meet with some of our special guests featured in this podcast series. It's a great time, fun place to host events, and we hope to see you there. The RePHIL Studio will be back very shortly. Now, that's basically all the updates I have in regards to the podcast. Now, again, as I mentioned earlier, I do want to kind of get into a little bit of some questions about that I asked in the community. I did ask a question in the community tab in my Discord server, a particular question about upcoming game updates that they're looking forward to in the 4.5 year anniversary. So if you guys don't know, Bang Dream in the Japanese server is turning 4.5 years old, and there's going to be a massive celebration in the game to celebrate the anniversary. And I asked to our Discord members, our members of the community, what they're most looking forward to. An overwhelming amount of people said that they're looking forward to a lot of stars. Now, I'm not sure if that translates into the EN version. And also there's a lot of questions like, is this anniversary going to still come in 4.5 years, even though the events are coming faster? The whole schedule is a whole mess. But either way, I'm not sure how much more generous they're going to be with the stars compared to the JP version. But a lot of people just see stars and like, yes, we need more stars. So that's something that a lot of people are looking forward to. But I do want to personally share 5 of my most wanted change, or the updates that are coming in the 4.5 year anniversary. That's not really exclusive to the actual 4.5 year celebration, but like they mentioned in a stream, some upcoming changes to the game that I'm really looking forward to. So I'm gonna list my top 5 most like the ones I most look forward to. So why don't we go through the list? So number 5, in terms of something I look forward to in the 4.5 year celebration and beyond, are the collabs. Now, you might have already known that in the JP server, the Persona collab or gacha is rerunning. So this is your chance to get Persona Ron, Persona Himari, and all the other characters once more. Which means that it's probably going to come back in the EN version as well. Now, is it going to come back exactly a year later or maybe 9 months later to kind of go in sync with the current event? We're not sure. I'm guessing it's going to be about a year later, but you never know with the timing. But we know that it's coming back, which is amazing. I don't necessarily care too much about the Persona collab per se, mainly because personally myself, I already have Persona Himari, so I'm not looking forward to it like per se, but the fact that means that maybe other exclusive collabs will be coming back, like for instance ReZero. That could possibly have a rerun of gacha. That's looking like something that's very promising and something that we could possibly look forward to. Now, I said collabs in particular because it's not just the Persona rerun collab, but as well, there's going to be an upcoming collab with Hololive. You can see some of the song lists there as well, but there's Pass the Palettes, Pop and Party, and I think Hello Happy World. They're going to have some new songs with specific Hololive members like Aqua, and it's gonna be pretty interesting. Again, I'm not like I'm not like too into Hololive and stuff, but that's a really interesting collab. So that's something I think I will look forward to at least seeing, and that's why it's on number 5 on my list, because I think there are other things that I'm more looking forward to. So number 4 on the list, another thing I'm looking forward to is the Band Story 2 for RePHIL and Morphonica. So there is actually a schedule on when these are going to be released. I believe Morphonica's Band Story 2 is going to be released in JP in around October. I think late October, and then the RePHIL Band Story is going to be released in around middle of December in the JP server, which means that an EN server is going to actually come not a year later, but now maybe around 9 months later. So that's going to be really exciting. Can't wait to see more story building with RePHIL and Morphonica, especially RePHIL, because again their story was really focused, was basically the anime plot kind of condensed to the game, so it's going to be something new. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. So again, for those Morphonica and RePHIL fans, your time has come for Band Story 2 very soon. So definitely look forward to that. Number 3 in the list, there's actually going to be a new event type coming up, and that's going to be in the next upcoming event after this current JP event, and it's called Medley Live. So I'm not sure how Medley Live is going to work, but I imagine it's going to be very similar to how D4DJ. So it's going to be like a picking 3 songs, and I think it was 3 different teams. I saw on the graphic. So there's going to be a new event format, and there's already a new format, this Team Live, which is happening right now. But there's actually going to be a Medley Live, which is going to be new, and I'm really looking forward to see how that works and how that goes. How the song choices go, how the team selection works. It's going to be really interesting, I think. So Medley Live is definitely something that I do look forward to seeing, and I can't wait to see who is going to be the first few characters featured in this Medley Live. So I will be sharing the new JP events and such in the next episode, because that's when the new event's going to be released. So definitely look forward to that. So that's number 3 on my list. Number 2 in terms of upcoming things that are upcoming is it's the extra songs. So if you don't know, the extra songs is a situation where a band from Bang Dream sort of performs a song with the original artist of that cover song. So they've already done Poppin' Party with Konami Suzuki, and they sang Days of Dash. And in a few days from now, they're going to release Machiko's song with Hello Happy World tomorrow in the game. So that's an extra song, and it's always really exciting to see the original artist collab with the band that's covering the song. So in November, in the end of November, they've already confirmed that Afterglow is going to collab with Flow in their next extra song. So they call it After Flow. It's pretty interesting. So I'm looking forward to see what kind of song they do. I'm a really big fan of Flow, and Afterglow is a really interesting kind of mix of songs with them. So I do look forward to seeing what kind of song they're going to choose. My guess is that it's going to be Sign, that Naruto opening, because it's a really iconic Flow song. But you never know, they could do something different. So I'm definitely looking forward to After Flow and seeing how that goes in November. So that's the second song that I'm most looking forward to, or second thing. Just a new song, and and seeing what kind of new extra songs that are coming after. So, and my number one most the thing I look most forward to when it comes to 4.5 and beyond is what this new project they have. It's called Music Project, or it's interesting. They talked about this in the 4.5 year anniversary stream, but there's going to be a new series called Music Project where 7 music producers is going to actually come in and help produce a song with a specific band. I'm guessing 7 because there's going to be 1 for each band. So that's going to be really exciting. The first artist is already revealed, and it's going to be ISA producing a song for Poppin' Party. They already have a visual graphic of what Poppin' Party looks like and such, with like the YOASOBI sort of style of songs. So if you don't know, ISA is the producer of YOASOBI, he produces many of the songs, like, you know, all the YOASOBI songs that we all love and know. So that's going to be really exciting. YOASOBI also in the past did he choreographed a song, Cinema, for Project Sekai and Vivid Bad Squad. So I think that's like one of the best songs I've ever heard, and I definitely look forward to ISA's new song for Poppin' Party that's coming in November. So yeah, that's the one thing I'm most looking forward to, because I'm a huge fan of YOASOBI, a huge fan of ISA, and the fact that a producer like him is going to do something for Poppin' Party, and mean like other amazing producers that might come in and help with producing other songs in the future. Man, that's the number one thing I'm most looking forward to. Now, of course, in the community, everyone's mentioned stars and maybe Gacha as well, but you know, I have a little bit of a slight different take in terms of like what I'm looking forward to in the anniversary. So, but yeah, write in the comments. Let me know, guys. What is the number one thing, or a couple of things that you are looking forward to the most when it comes to the 4.5 year anniversary? Again, for those playing in the EN server, we're not going to get these until about a year later. But if you see the news and you follow the Twitter accounts and such, you know what's coming up. And I'm not sure what you guys are looking forward to the most. Let me know in the comments. Stuff that you think are most exciting for you. But with that out of the way, guys, this will conclude this episode, this brief update episode of the RePHIL Studio. So again, I'm really looking forward to sharing a new format of the podcast starting next week in season 2 of the updates. And again, if you haven't done so already, feel free to join the Discord, because now all our Discord members can contribute to the podcast, either through asking questions to special guests, or if you're part of the Filler Nation, you can even listen to these podcasts live. So it's going to be a great time, and I'm definitely looking forward to expanding and building this project further. And again, don't forget to share feedback in the feedback form. Again, all links are in the description. If you want to see a future special guest on the podcast, or perhaps just share what you think I could do to improve, or what do you like about the podcast, any support is greatly appreciated. With that out of the way, guys, again, thank you all so much for listening to this update, this special episode of the RePHIL Studio. This is your host, SBPhilos4, and in October, I hope that everyone will come in and refill to 99 and be excited and listen to the next episode of the RePHIL Studio. So with that out of the way, thanks all so much for listening. We'll see you all next time. Take care, everyone, and bye-bye.